I see. The station lunchbox is a good place to start. The tea that Reverend Takai brews is always good. It must be the method, but the fragrance of the tea leaves itself is second to none. When the truck closure era came, even when railway stations decreased in number, station lunchboxes were still loved. Yokokawa's kettle rice, Akashi's octopus rice, Oshamanbi's crab rice, Hitachi Dago's shamo rice, Izu Denshimoda's red bream rice. Those station lunchboxes were of stations that are now defunct, but the lunchboxes themselves still live. They can exist without the station. That is the power of the station lunchbox. I hear that the capital still has many station lunchbox fairs. Yes, now that you mention it, that may be so. I never really wanted to go eat station lunchboxes myself, even though I barely have any interest. When I see them at department stores, I do notice them. Supposing that you do make Japan's best-selling station lunchbox, those sorts of fairs will be everything for advertising Ohotoyo. His gentle voice compliments us. I feel a bit thankful since I had not even thought that far ahead. Eating Japan's best station lunchbox on a living, breathing steam locomotive. If that were to materialize, I think that by itself will become a great tourism asset. That's true. It'd become one of the main forces for tourism assets. Yes. His saying one of sounds to me like it on its own isn't enough. Either way, we have to start with the station lunchboxes. If we don't plant our feet on the first step, we'll go astray for the next. I'm thinking of making the station lunch very Ohotoyo-like. That's why I'm here to ask about the Kijiuma. Oh, where did you hear that? From Mrs. Nagayama, the wife of the monk from Izanji Temple. Ah, Unzun's son's wife. Reverend Nakai nods and then picks up his teacup to drink. That makes sense. The shrine and the connection with Kijushi aren't well known. Kijushi? Kijishi? Kishishi? Even Paulette doesn't have such a wide knowledge of Japan. Reverend Nakai ignores that question and turns to me instead. Sutetsu-kun, do you know? The traveling craftsmen who are good with woodworking? They traveled from forest to forest in search of good lumber? That's a good answer. If you picked up a dictionary, you'd probably see it defined that way. Oh! She raises her hand slightly. Reverend Nakai nods to her and Pod asks in a bashful way. It'll be embarrassing if I'm mistaken, but the horse made by Kijishi is the Kijiuma? Oh, I see, I hadn't considered that. Not having the knowledge of something also means you don't have any preconceived notions. There is a theory which states that. Reverend Nakai stands up and brings a couple of wooden toys from decorated chest to Kijiumas. Wow, those are cute. These are crafts from around Japan said to originate from the Kijishi. They are likely to be toys given to children in the past. whale Kuruma, dog Kuruma, sea bream Kuruma, quail Kuruma. They all had something similar to the Kiji-uma. They all have similar structures, but for some reason only the Kiji-uma is called an uma, horse, instead of a Kuruma, wheel. There are a few theories to that. First, Kiji-uma is simply a corruption of Kiji-guruma. Kiji-guruma, 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 Kiji-uma. I suppose that might sound sensible. Next, there is a theory that the Kiji-uma is simply a horse guruma, and because some people saw it as a Kiji, pheasant, they started calling it a Kiji-uma instead of a Kiji-guruma. Wouldn't that make it a Kiji-guruma then? Aren't all the Kuruma made by Kiji-shi too? Pilot and I are both not convinced. Reverend Guy smiles at us, then nods. There is another interesting theory, that the Kiji-uma is a footprint that the Kiji-shi purposely left behind. They purposely left them behind? So that means the Kiji-shi passed down the Kiji-uma wherever they went? That is just a single theory, and a dissenting one at that. The Reverend stands up and brings another wooden toy that looks more like a Kiji-uma. Although supposedly a Kiji-uma, it looks extremely plain and resembles a horse more than anything. Did you know that Kiji-uma like this can be found all over Kyushu? I didn't know that. I've heard that it exists in Fukuoka. You're quite knowledgeable. There is also Oita, Kagoshima, and Saga as well. Oh, that's more than half of Kyushu. That's an interesting story, but in that case, that would make it a hard sell as a Ohotoyo specialty. Not at all. There's no other town besides Ohotoyo where there are so many old Kiji-umas left behind. Reverend Kai leans forward at me ever so slightly. The Kiji-shi dealt with forestry as part of their occupation. At the same time, they were the clergy for mountain worship. Mountain worship? It's the belief that the mountains themselves, or nature revolving around the mountains at least, are divine. Ah, Shintoism? In the general sense of the word, yes. But the target of mountain worship is in mountains and the nature revolving around it. Pot's somewhat confused. It would be better to go in order one by one. Yamabushi monks are famous as mountain worshipping clergy. Have you ever seen images of it? They hold a conch and are dressed in white. Yamabushi, yes, I know that. They are the mountain worship people. That's right. Yamabushi will train in the mountains to become one with the mountains and achieve enlightenment. Yes. On the other hand, the Kiji-shi conduct seances to bring nature like the mountains or forest into their vessels. By creating the masks, they were able to prove their faith. Masks. This is like how Buddhists make statues of the gods? Yes, the created masks are used for prayer or dance, sometimes with sorcery. I see. It seems to connect. Could it be the Akai Aso Shrine's special feature of Oni mask making is You did know. You are exactly right. A satisfied nod. That One mask was said to have been donated by a Kijishi. Perhaps this shrine itself used to belong to the Kijishi. Is that why the land of Ohoteo has so many old Kijiuma left? Possibly. This is quite interesting. We should definitely make one of the station lunchbox's motifs the Kijiuma. We could use paper wrappers with that design, and then put some sort of text describing the connection between Kijiuma and Ohoteo on it. Paulette, we just heard something very valuable. I agree. Paulette's cheeks are flush, her voice is a bit tense. Hervins, if I may ask, do you have materials regarding this? We have records dedicated to the shrine, as well as old shrine records. The diary of Niggy is also among that, I believe. In that case, the Akayaso shrine, I've always thought about this, but... She swallows to prepare what she's about to say next. I'd like to nominate it as a tangible cultural property. Would that be alright? Tangible cultural property? She surprises me. Though she is the mayor after all, that is an idea I hadn't even thought of. If we could obtain the cultural property designation, Akayaso Shrine and the rest of Ohoteo would gain much more fame. No, though this shrine is a structure with some history. It has a very high cultural value. She declares, this is Paulette we're talking about. The many something kuruma you showed us earlier are scattered all around Japan, are they not? That is true, but... Then if we investigate them along with other places with these artifacts, we'll clarify the techniques and historical transitions of the Kijishi. Akayaso Shrine and Ohoteo will be the gathering place of the Kijishi culture. An impressed murmur followed by a nod. You stated earlier that the connection between this place and the Kijishi is not well known? Yes. In other words, that means no one has investigated it. It's not good to let this remain hidden. Not good? Do you mean that in an academic way? Exactly. Calmness returns to her voice. Her words of excitement are being thoroughly examined. The materials you have today may be burned tomorrow. The records and investigation of history and culture are a race of sorts. I see. Reverend Dekai nods deeply. He keeps his head down and then turns to Paulette while maintaining that position. He then bows to Paulette. That is an enlightening feeling. But Paulette looks confused. Enlightened? It means to be ridden of ignorance, but it'd be rude of me to consider Reverend Dekai ignorant. I think you can just interpret that as being informed of something good. Oh no, I wouldn't dare, but if so... Yes, I'd very much like to ask of you to reckon this shrine as a cultural property. Thank you very much. I'll have someone send a nomination from the cultural property department. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. Reverend Dekai suddenly turns to me. If it's old materials you were looking for, I remember giving some to Taito-san. To Taito-san? Yes, he was in love with Ohoteo and the railways. He did everything he could to revive them both. Yes, I nod deeply. I know that better than anyone here. If there are some things related to the Kijishi at the Migata household, I'm sure it will be of some help to you. There could be something in Taito-san's collection. That would be good. Thank you. I bow, and it makes me realize how funny my ignorance is. The saying, darkest under the lamppost, goes too well here. I realize that large collection of books is a mountain of hints. I'm ashamed to say that I didn't realize that. Me too. You've already shown me those materials before too. I turn around and our eyes meet. Our voices also overlap at almost the same time. It's an enlightening feeling. It's an enlightening feeling. The room next to the one I was given, Taito-san's collection, and other materials are stuffed in that room. Paulette, Reina, and me, the three of us, have been holed up in here for 4 hours already. Phew, there are quite a lot. This is the 11th book, including the one with the traditional Japanese binding, and then here are another 6 document collections. I glance at Paulette to see her looking intently at a scroll next to a small mountain of books. Since she's looking inside, she must have finished her search for now. She did say that she was good at repetitive tasks. I still haven't checked even half of the parts I'm responsible for. Oh! She must have noticed my gaze. Paulette looks up and rolls up the scroll. You have that much too, Maitetsu-kun? There's so much material here. Yes. I was intent on helping Paulette, but I'm just wasting her time. I feel a bit sorry, but that negative feeling dissipates when I see her smile. With this many, I'm sure we can get the investigation to take place. She sounds and looks super happy, so much so that I'm able to get in touch with my own motivation again. I move my idle hands, which in turn allows me to talk smoother. I was surprised at your idea for the cultural property. It's been talked about at City Hall for quite some time, that's all. But being able to bring that out in that timing shows how able you truly are. Reverend Ukai has a very conservative personality. If you told him that it was for tourism or advertisement, he would have flat out refused. That sort of idea wouldn't come out unless you were super interested in Ohaisio and its culture. It's nothing. I just like the railways. Oh, I already know that. Her love of the railways and her knowledge and interest in culture. That doesn't connect in my mind, and I almost think I misheard her there. I just love the railways and traveling by them. I also love Japan and want to know more about it. I feel the same. No, I feel an even stronger passion in her voice than when she talked about the CN. That's why I grew a natural interest in things like the connections to each land. I see. I think I understand. Looking at it now, it makes me high-minded too. I honestly want to learn from her virtues. Paulette, you're an academic type. You like to focus thoroughly on the things you like? Academic? It's not as good as it sounds. I think it's normal to want to know more about what you like. I hear a small swallowing sound. The like that I have is probably very persistent. It lingers and I never tire of it. That's all. Being faithful and honest to a fault is crucial in achieving greatness. It's something that Taito-san also had. His fortune that he diligently built is now helping us greatly. People like me change their opinions at the drop of a hat. Your persistence is almost blinding to me. That's why you're strong, Maitetsu-kun. An unexpected word makes me turn my head. Paul's blue eyes are also looking at me. You're not fixated on something. You stop when you know it's wrong. no matter how strong the pain is, you don't let it turn into hatred. My heart jumps. Those eyes and words seem to drag me into the past. They overlap with a precious memory of my past. Setsuken, you don't change opinions. You change mistakes. That's why your strength is bonding to me. Paulette. I don't know where that evaluation came from. Does Paulette know my past self? I should have just asked, but the words refused to come out of my mouth. What's wrong, Setsuken? Fearing is meaningless. Whether or not Paulette knows my past, it doesn't affect what we're doing now. At least I don't think so. But Paulette, that's why I tear out those words, so that I can turn toward what I must. There's one thing I want to ask you. Paulette, do you mind? Huh? Oh, Reina, hi. Reina, what's wrong? Deep in the room, Reina's voice snaps us out of it. Our focus should be turned to the books and materials right now. Why did we lose sight of something so simple? I don't even have a good command of myself. Reina found something interesting. Huh? What's that? Paulette turns around and then heads to the back where Reina is. It's no surprise, we're looking for the Kijishi, Kijiuma, and Ohatio. Reina's looking for anything railway related. Look at this. It says it's a map. Reina comes over with light footsteps. She spreads out her arms to show us. Ah, it's an old map of Ohatio. No, it's of a large area, actually. Could it be from the Taisho era? Look over here. It's long before the track closure, yes. Railway tracks run all across Kyushu. Saga, Nagasaki, Kumamoto, Kagoshima, Miyazaki, Oita. Every place was accessible by railway. The unbroken black and white lines show the glory of the old days. So look at this. Reina points at a single section with some familiar words. Jetsusen Cave Station. I see. This is back from before it closed. This is... See? Paulette and Reina both look each other in the eye. Her blue eyes then turn to me. I don't understand what there was to get. What's going on? Look, it's this line. That she mentions it. There is a line going from the Jutsusen coal mine station above the Jutsusen cave text, and then to a map symbol of a mine. The line resembles a Sutsu, which I think is... Is this a private railway? Yes, I think the likelihood of that is very high. It must be a mining railway. Mining railway. When I repeat what she said, Reina jumps up as if to affirm it. Yes, it's nice. Reina wants to run there too. Run there? Can you with Kia 07, for example? Huh? A blank stare. She then shakes her head as if apologizing. That line has been defunct for a long time. I don't know of any facilities near the abandoned Jutsusen coal mine station. Let's say it's not nearby and it's actually further away. Would the rails to the Jutsusen coal mine still be intact? I don't know. In that case, no. Before that, I crouched down to match my line of sight with Reina's. I have to confirm this, or else it'll all go to waste. Do mining railways have tracks with different widths? Don't purposely change the gauge. It's more convenient that way. I thought so. Oh! Pod's voice, it seems to be a mix of astonishment and happiness. So Tetsugun, are you thinking of rebuilding the line? If the track widths are the same, can't you simply drive into those tracks? Yes, if the state of the tracks is still good, we can just do some spot maintenance. But only if the track conditions are good. I don't know. It seems like an interesting idea. Tracks are made of high-quality iron. Some may have already stolen them. The aircraft can't function around the Jutsusen coal mine. But with the railways defunct, it'd be extremely difficult to take them. And that's why I have a feeling the forest still has them. Let's say that there could be a mining workshop as one of the tourist attractions. That's good. And if some coal could be mined, it'd help with Hachiroku-chan's food. A playful smile paints her face while she nods deeply. Being able to go to the mines with railways is... oh, would this interest people who don't care about trains though? I think it's interesting. Pod suddenly becomes worried. Influenced by her worry, tipness overtakes the tone of my voice. It's true that I have become much more knowledgeable of the railways in a short span of time, thereby increasing my interest in them. Let's talk this over. Hibiki, Fukumai, and Makurani would be good people to talk to. Yes, I agree. Pod pats Reina on the head to congratulate her on the find. Pod quickly starts gathering the materials she found. Let's confirm the schedule. I think having the meeting earlier would be better. Yes. It's the living room, but also our biggest room. Even with so many people here, the room doesn't feel cramped in the slightest. Making the Akai Aso Shrine a cultural property? And reviving the mining railway, as well as incorporating the specialty station lunchboxes. Hibiki and Hachiroku both sound dumbfounded and impressed. I'm surprised you came up with such a plan so quickly. Patsun and Nisan, you're already so busy. There's nothing to worry about, and I feel this is all worthwhile. Me too. That cheerful voice of hers worries me. I have no idea how Paulette's energy level is. But I can just confirm that later. Time's valuable for everyone. Today I gathered everyone here so we could discuss that. The issue with the Akai Aso Shrine, who we mostly dealt with the priest and the person in charge at City Hall. Regarding the station lunchbox, we want to make prototypes and do taste tests so that we can find the best way to approach them. Hachiroku nods to what I say and stares back at me with a determined look. Then, as the main point of your discussion is about the mining railway? Yes. I wonder if there's anything remaining near the abandoned Jutsusen coal mine. We went on a school hiking trip to the abandoned coal mine? Oh. Nagi's good in these situations. She jumps in and grabs right onto the main point of the conversation, keeping the discussion going. It was far and dirty. We walked a lot and got dirty. Not much, huh? When I take apart the factors of what Nagi's saying, it is Jutsusen coal mine equals far plus dirty times 2. As if to prove that, Fukumai adds in her own view. Nobody really liked it. They all said it's better going down Kuma River. Better? That's a rather negative evaluation. But I kind of liked it, I guess. Fukumai smiles a bit. I honestly don't know what to say to her. At the time, do you remember seeing any railway facilities or tracks left behind? I didn't notice a thing. Nagi changes the atmosphere instantly. Fukumai also joins in. At that time, we had zero interest in railways and stuff. What about you, Hibiki? Since it was a school field trip. I went as well. It was a hiking trip back in elementary school, but it wasn't that dirty. Oh. There's only a few years difference between Hibiki's hike and the one Nagi and Fukumai are talking about. She's the daughter of a brewer, and she likes to clean. It's impossible for Hibiki to just ignore dirtiness. And there can only be one conclusion. The Jutsusen coal mine is deteriorating rapidly. It was certainly far. It might be because I was in elementary school, but it took 2, maybe 3 hours to get to the entrance. From where? Oh, from the closed Jutsusen coal mine station. We made a stop there during the hike. I didn't really notice any abandoned tracks down around there either. I was just impressed by the town. What town? There are lots of dormitories built around the Jutsusen coal mine. It must have been quite bustling back in the day. McCurney gives a helping hand. McCurney, you were there to hike too? Yep, back even then, it was already a ghost town. The trees were wrapping around the buildings and everything. Yes, it's like the town was being swallowed by the forest, Nini. I'll show you my sketchbook later. Yes, please. If Hibiki was moved by the sight of it, the place must have been interesting. It's now a deserted town. It was where the miners used to live. The mining railway also transported the miners? Reina says that proudly and with a hint of nostalgia. They bring coal by trolley and load it up on the freight car, and Kizzy or Seven would tow the car with all the miners in it. Trolley. Ah, there are trolleys in the mines. There definitely are. Reina wants to drive the trolley too. That'd be interesting. There should be many different kinds to boot. The kind that moves awkwardly where you push a stick. You'd think there'd be a significant number of people who'd want to try that out, like Reina. A ghost town. The trolleys and the mine itself. Now, hold on. Before I let my ideas get ahead of me, I have to confirm this with McCurney. McCurney, do you remember any railway-related facilities? As if she were waiting for it, a big grin takes over her face. The boys were all getting excited about it, about the trolley and whatnot. Oh. It wasn't there when we went. It must have been a long time. Fukumai grabs Nagi and covers her mouth. Nagi-chan, it was a long... Yes, it was a really long haul. Fukumai, I don't think that covers anything. McCurney, still grinning, suddenly looks a bit more ominous. Well? Proceed with caution. I tried to change the direction of the discussion immediately. If there are that many dormitories, was the production rate of the Jutsusen coal mine that good? That's what I heard. It was said to be the best coal mine in all of Kyushu a long time ago, though. Fukumai twitches in fear. McCurney giggles at the sight of that, and her smile softens to a more natural kind. Well, there's no harm in checking it out. I see, thank you. What I heard here was very educational. I bow to McCurney and everyone else. I straighten my posture, noticing Hibiki looking uncomfortable for some reason. Are you going there, Nissan, to the Jutsusen coal mine? Yes, a picture's worth 1,000 words, they say. Bullet-san as well? Oh, I do want to go. I think things will be much quicker that way. Yes. Paul's a treasure trove of knowledge regarding governance, tourism, and railways. I've learned about pollution regarding coal as well. I think the two of us would be able to research somewhat well. That would be an entire day's work, and since you can't use aircraft there, Navi can't help either. Oh. Yes. Oh, that's alright. That's right. I now understand what Hibiki meant. Q07 will have to run even on days when there are no city assembly meetings. We can't let the train not run. However, if we can shorten the investigation time...
That would not be a problem at all. There's an easy solution.
Joker stands up briskly.
So this summer, please use me.
No fair, Heteroku. You took all the glory. I'll help too. Ah, I see.
Hibiki is completing her training as an engineer assistant. She'll soon learn how to use emergency braking.
You're saying that all high and mighty again. Paulette, what do you think?
Q07's can be run by Reina alone.
Yes, but the problem is if accidents occur.
If Hibiki-chan and Charoku-chan can help during then, I think it'll be safer than usual.
Norpod and Reina form this team. There's no need to be modest, that's right. But if you could do that, it would be very helpful.
Reina's okay. I was one who suggested it, so there's no way I will refuse.
I'll help too. Yeah, I will. Hibiki is telling herself that. Exactly how she has ever since we were kids. I may be forcing her to do this, is the thought that crosses my mind. Hibiki, there's the issues that with the aircraft factory too. If you don't want to do this...
Huh? It's not about motivation. I'm just riling myself up because this is a big responsibility.
Oh, really? But...
No, but Nissan.
Hibiki holds up a finger at me. Just like she does when explaining her signboard drawings to customers. Her face is ripe with confidence and pride.
I'm your sister. Do you understand, Nissan? Your sister.
Yes. Hibiki smiles innocently, but there's a hint of sadness as well.
When I see you having so much fun, I have to.
Okay. I guess the whole tourism angle is starting to actually take shape a bit. We do actually have some attractions to potentially, well, attract.